guys, it's Trev, SmashweRx. It's Tuesday, just after Labor Day weekend, and we're gonna go over some lower body mobility. I know we're continuing on the squat series we were doing, but a lot of things that are neglected are, by the way, I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. I know I did. It was a ton of fun. Super hot weather. It's California. It doesn't get any better than that. People neglect the lower body. I mean, we're talking from the knee down when we're getting into the squat position. You need to have that ankle mobility that allows you to drop into that position without getting up on your toes. And I know that a lot of people, when they get into that bottom of the squat, old school, people used to put a plate behind their heel to help them maintain that upright position, help the knee position so we can go out and that we can keep that vertical shin. I mean, the whole goal when we're doing a squat is to keep that shin as vertical as possible and push those legs out, torque them against the floor while keeping our feet straight so we don't squat like a duck. I know, we're like, we need to do all this stuff in a row before we even drop into the hole for a squat. So the way we're gonna do that, let me get down a little bit so we're not chopping off my head, is we're gonna mobilize the lower leg. So tibialis anterior, all the structures down the front on the outside of that tibia. There's nothing really on the inside here. We have the gastroc and then the soleus plantaris that run down the back of the leg. And those are muscles that are really neglected. So we're gonna go ahead and mobilize those. I'm gonna show you a really cool way to get them stretched out, mobilized, and ready for dropping into some really gnarly heavy weight. So the first thing is we're gonna do the front of the leg. Super easy. So remember, this is part 4, the squat series. I know we're breaking down the squat into a ton of different parts, but it's really important because think about it. If you're gonna get under some big weight, the squat has a bearing on just about everything we do in activities of daily living, never mind doing things in CrossFit. If you have to pick something off the ground, you're gonna squat. If you look at how children, 2, 3 years old, pick things up off the ground, they do this. They get into the bottom, they pick it up, and then they stand back up. You don't see them doing this. That's a really crappy thing for your low back, and it's a habit that we teach our kids. So in this case, let's maintain that squat. Let's have a good squat so we can do this until we're like 120 years old. But like I said, it's incorporated in everything we do every day, so it's a good idea to have this super mobile anyway, because we squat a lot more than we think. See, now you're gonna spend your day looking around going, holy geez, I could squat instead of bending and twisting and jacking up our low backs. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna hit that front portion of the lower leg. So you stay on the outside of the tibia. So tibia is that really pointy bone. Muay Thai guys like my buddy Kevin Ross, they use this a lot when they're whooping on you in the ring. And what this is, you want to stay off that. You want to stay to the outside of that. There's a big meaty structure down here. The primary muscle out there is the tibialis anterior. It does dorsiflexion of the foot, so it lifts the foot up. But we want to mobilize that because it's when it gets all gummed up and sticky and just matted down to all the tissue and to the bone. And then the other thing is it's going to give you those shin splints down the outside of the shin. So this is another thing we can address, all the same thing. So we're going to wrap this up in a nice, neat little package. So first thing you do is you take this is a 4-inch piece of PVC pipe from Home Depot, basically. And you're just going to get on it just below the knee. And if you can see, I'm going to point my toe and I'm just going to grind back and forth. I'm going to move the barbell out of the way. And all I'm going to do is grind away on this. Now, if it gets to be too easy, I can pick my body up and I can get on it this way. But ideally, you're just gonna lean towards the outside. So I'll face you and I'll show you another view just so you get an idea of what I'm doing. So the leg is on here, but not on the shin. Don't grind your shin. I'm gonna get all these text messages and emails going, it's weird, it hurts my shin. Don't grind your shin, just stay to the outside of the shin. So that big meaty thing on the outside of your shin, that's what you're gonna grind away. Just back and forth, smash it out. When you find a hot spot, camp out there and grind away for about a minute or two. Do that, both sides. That's number 1. Number 2 is you want to stretch it out. Super easy. Take your toes, point it back. Now if you can't even do this, this is a stretch already. Now if you can do this, you're gonna point your toes, lift your feet up off the ground, and you're just gonna camp out like this. Now, what I'm doing is I'm stretching that tibialis anterior, and we can go a little further. Get your hands back here for stability. Don't try and be a hero and kind of balance yourself like that. You're gonna eat it, and I'm gonna get a bunch of CrossFit fails. I'm gonna see them on YouTube, so we don't want to see any of that because CrossFit doesn't fail, all right? It's functional fitness, we know that. So we're gonna do this, stretch it out. How long do we hold it? 2 minutes, I say it just about every video. Repetition is the mother of skill, right? So that's number 2. So this one you're gonna do singly. This stretch you can do at the same time, obviously you're hitting both sides. Now this is the funky one. My buddy Jim showed me this one. This is so gnarly. You're gonna take a barbell and you're gonna bring it up into the calf. You're gonna point your toes like this, and I can already feel it. And then you're just gonna sit down, and you're gonna grab on, and don't sit down too hard. You're gonna grab on either side, and you're just gonna mash, rock back and forth. And oh my God, this is intense. Then you're gonna roll down a little bit, all the way. Where you're gonna feel it a lot is right where that myotendinous junction, right where that muscle and that tendon join on the Achilles, that kind of tissue transition there gets really sticky, really gummed up. Go ahead and grind all the way down as long as you're not hitting bone, but you're gonna come all the way up. Just tuck yourself all the way into the back of that knee. Grind that, that's gonna hit the outside of that calf. All the spots that we normally don't get. So if you look at it, the calf is here, and then outside is another muscle, looks like a heart, goes around the outside. You wanna hit both of those. So the gastroc in the middle and then around the outside as well. Get that smashed out, do both sides. This is a funky stretch. I'll tell you right now, it'll loosen up your calf. Then get under some weight and see how well those ankles move. All right, hey, I'm Trev, SmashweRx, squat series number 4. You guys have an awesome day. Talk to you tomorrow.